Alright, there we go. New pathways have opened up. Huh? What is going on? What is this? Well, there's music though. Wait. Wait, what is going on? Why is there a giant block in the middle of my lane now? What? Wait. What the heck? What's this? What's this? What? Okay. I think we found out what exactly is being cooked right here, ladies and gents. Who's this fatty? What? Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is yours truly, back with a special showcase. Today, we're gonna be actually playing Akeron or Akeron. I don't know how he's like best pronounced. But this is Ameda's latest new original hero, and I must say, this guy is an actual demon, quite literally. I mean, look at that. That's like so gnarly, having like a floating torso and an eyeball in the middle. So they definitely really cooked hard on this hero design right here. But this whole segment is pretty much just going to be kind of like a more in-depth showcase of like this kit right here, and kind of like me explaining it like piece by piece what's going on, combos, what items to build, etc, etc, so that way when we get to the gameplay, I focus more on the gameplay and you guys already know what's going on with this new hero right here. And I hope you guys enjoyed that intro clip right there, because it's not just Akeron that's like new in this latest patch. It's also like the crazy map changes that you can get. World event is I think what it's called, but it is pretty massive. A lot what they're doing this next patch. So definitely look forward to it coming to you guys soon. But his passive. So his passive essentially is a rage mechanic. Well, when you do damage or take damage, you gain the stack. And each stack gives you about only 0.25 ability haste. Doesn't sound like a lot, but once you get to 100 stacks, and I could probably do the math in my head, but I'm too lazy to do it, so I'm just gonna do my trusty calculator. You get 25 ability haste at max stacks, which is actually a lot, because that's equivalent to like about one item. I think most items will have like, yeah, like 20 or 15 ability haste, so 25 is actually a lot. That's pretty much like a 1.5 item of ability haste on this guy, so that's really good. But excuse me, I've been kind of talking a lot recording videos today, so excuse my little bit sore throat. But the big thing that also happens when you reach 100 stacks is you become what I like to call it enrage. Well, or in this case, they call it awaken. You gain 5% damage mitigation, and I think this part actually goes up with levels. Excuse my throat. Oh my goodness. But you gain damage mitigation that scales on your level at max stacks, and your abilities also gain bonus effects while awakened, and we can kind of talk about as we go through these abilities. So essentially, again, I'm doing damage right here, and you can see it takes a long time to get 100 stacks if you're only basic attacking, but as soon as you use one ability like the kill, you see how fast that stacks up. So what you want to do with this hero is you want to really play around your abilities. Your abilities is very key on being able to awaken and get additional effects, so you start to like become harder to kill, and your abilities start to have enhanced effects. So right there you saw what my Q does. It's like a multi-hit ability that's like active projectile, so you can kind of see like you can go launch it out in the air like that. What I like to do a lot in Offlane is have it hit the ground, and you see how it does the AoE on the ground that it lands on. That's how you want to do, like, play around that, and I can show you a little bit more in the combo section. But a lot of times you want to get the maximum damage on your Q. It seems like you have to like kind of hit on the feet and then kind of trap that enemy in with your abilities to really get all the hits in on your Q. And that's how, yeah, you see right there, I become awakened, I'm all red, I'm very like demonic looking right there, and it doesn't seem like there's a ton of cooldown on that too. So as soon as you lose your awakened status, you can start ramping up to get back again and kind of like go spam back and forth on the awakened statuses. And so when you awaken on Hellfire, you increase the total fireball count, so it just means that Q does more damage, essentially. So your E is very interesting. You either use it as like a projectile, and if it hits an enemy, it actually boosts them, and while in the field, they're slow. Or you can use it to latch up to a wall, because you can kind of see from here design, he kind of has some spider-like properties, so it makes sense that he has some web Spider-Man kind of action you can do right here. And the interesting about this too is like you can use your abilities while latch on. So let's say I'm going in for like an engage, I go through this, I do that to kind of prep my Q ahead of time if you want to like make sure all that land hits, because when you hit people with your E, you actually knock them up and stun. So it's actually very important to know that his E on the ground is only root, and if you want to interrupt an ability, you have to go for the knockup by doing that to interrupt like key abilities. And so when you awaken, the leap range increases, so kind of see a little bit, it's like pretty short, but I'm gonna just kind of like quickly get to awaken status, use the E, and yeah, that's a big difference right there on like how far you go with your E. Alright, your arm is a cone. I can actually kind of show you the hitbox. Some stuff I kind of put on instant cast. So like on your E, for example, I actually recommend that you put on instant cast, and I'll explain that why in a sec. But I have alternate on instant cast too. But if you want to know what it looks like, it looks like this. It's kind of like this cone right here. That does more damage the closer you are. So 45 right here. When you get close, it increases to that amount, like 67, right? And it also heals when you hit people, and I believe it heals you more if you kill like a minion or a hero, for example, you heal more and you reduce that cooldown by half a second. And yeah, you also shred the armor of this too. So it's a very like all-in-one ability, but nothing like too crazy. It's just a way for you to do like that quick instant damage. It'd be really nice for wave clear, jungle clears, and of course when you awaken, you gain armor equal to the armor you reduce. So right now we're at 46, for example. So let's see, 46, and then we hit the steel, we go up to 48. So that doesn't sound a lot, but this is like, we're both low at 6 right here. So like as the game progresses more and more, you get to shred more armor, and then that also means that you're gonna gain more armor, especially if you go for a physical based build, because the armor you shred is based on your physical power. So you go for a physical power build, you can increase that more. And one thing that failed to mention right at the beginning is this guy scales on magical and physical. As you guys see from the tooltip, well, you see the little red and purple icons, that's physical and magical respectively. So that means that this hero is a dual scaling hero like Plunge, where you can opt for both magical and physical damage items. So that's why you can see a mixture. Right here, this is actually a stronger build that's all physical based, because going physical is better for him usually to max RMB for clears. But in Offlane, when you want to play around your Q, the little eyeball thing, you actually go for a magic based build, because your Q scales more and does better when you build it with magical power. So this guy is like has some really kind of cool builds you can kind of do with him. But before I dive too much into that, let's talk about his ultimate. This is the really juicy part right here. It's this giant cone right in front of you, right? So think like Witcher, like ultimate, but on steroids, right? Like on like the kind of like hitbox size of this. And when you use it, you actually just suck people in right here. So I can show you right here again. You suck people in, and then once they're in melee range, you actually just constantly bite them and do increased damage. So you have the dark damage that you're doing right there. But then once you actually like physically touching them, that's when you do the constant bites to do even more damage. And this ultimate is an execution ability. When they fall below like for right here is like 10% like health that scales based on your physical and magical. But as you put levels into it, as you build more physical and magical damage, it scales up even more. So speaking of which, let's actually just build a bunch of random items and see how much more that will increase, just as an example. So like 359 like magical power and some physical. And that'll go up to 17%. That's pretty massive. And then put lowest into that, that's gonna be pretty big. Why? Because that means we can probably execute people once they get to like below 20%, which is a pretty massive execution threshold right there. And the cool thing about this ability too is you're also healing when you're damaging them, and then when you execute them, you actually gain permanent physical and magical damage. And then when you awaken, your execute and pull is increased. So actually, that means that we can make this execution threshold even higher. So right now it's at 70%. Doesn't show on the tooltip. I don't think it shows on the tooltip, sadly, but it does say the execute and pull is increased. So let's test the pull, because it makes the pull stronger. Is pretty much what it does. So I kind of want to see like a before and after difference. But yeah, that is way faster. You guys are seeing right there. So it's definitely very key that you guys play around his awakened status, because you just do more stuff and all your abilities just does just makes it so that you can just kill people and just do a lot more stuff way faster. Now for his combos, I think the most important thing again is like when to get the most damage out of your Q, you want to place it at their feet. It slows them, right? But they can kind of walk away from it. So what you want to do is an Offlane in the game you're gonna see is I was running up to them, I root them, and then I Q them. That way, they get rooted while they can hit my Q, so that's like guaranteed damage that stick to them. And the E also slows them along the Q slow, so that makes it really hard to just walk out immediately, and that's how you can get a lot of damage going right then. Of course, like you can just do the R&B, just do a lot of buzz damage, basic attack, and just do ability rotations. Now, for his augments, the augment that I recommend you guys go is Death from Above. Because the other ones are not bad, they just changed up his playstyle a little bit too much, so it's not like kind of new player friendly, because one of them is going to push people away instead of putting them in with his ultimate, which can make it awkward to get value out of him. And the other one makes it so that your abilities doesn't stack up your passive, and instead we gain it passively over time. And I didn't like that because it actually takes a long time for it to passively stack up to 100 stacks by itself. And you see how fast that I get my stacks, so I feel like it's almost unnecessary to go with that. You just want to like just forego that. Go for this because this allows you to go up on the wall, root them in place, and then so like you can either like root them or you can swing around, then you go like this. It offers just so much more flexibility and how you want to like do this E. So I highly recommend you guys go for this augment right here. But other than that, that's kind of like his main kind of combos you can do for his builds. You see right here, this is Offlane build. This is all magical based. I highly recommend you guys follow this. For his jungle, you want to go for this physical based build right here. So pretty much the main difference between physical and magical based build is magical based build is more suited for Offlane, playing around your Q, damage, rotation, whereas in jungle, you maximize your R&B first for the jungle clears, and you just kind of go from there. So those are like the two distinct play styles. You can of course mix and match some of them, right? Like I could probably mix some magical items with Aegis, but stuff like Basilisk and magical wouldn't fit as well because Basilisk shreds armor, physical armor, not magical armor. So although you can use both magical and physical items, you want to be careful of what items you choose, because you got to think about how that item's going to interact with the other damage type right there. But that's gonna be it for my breakdown. Kind of like a longer rant, right? I think this kit has a lot more nuances, a lot more builds and playstyles. So I kind of figured this is why I do like a totally separate segment for those who want to see a more complete breakdown of this kit and kind of like what you need to do to make the most use out of him. And so of course, if you like that, then you're well equipped for my actual gameplay segment coming up right here. But I think before the gameplay starts, I do have one last segment, and that's going to be like showcasing like his other augments, just a little bit more detail stuff, and some other really cool battle skin pass stuff that you guys will be seeing here in just a sec. Alright, so we're gonna just quickly touch bases on the actual augments for Act 1, plus some other goodies like the new skins that's actually gonna be releasing on this patch right here. So you can see Akeron on the page right here. One thing you immediately kind of tell that's different is that the skin kind of like UI changed a little bit, where before it used to be kind of just the line boxes and names of the skins, but now it's an actual just like a visual representation. You actually see the in-game kind of like card art before you go into match. I kind of like this a lot because it makes it much easier to kind of see what skin is which, instead of like just memorizing by name. Because I know, for example, Webner has a lot of different skins, and so being able to just quickly click on like the card art and kind of give a little bit more details on it, right, like that, it's pretty nice quality of life feature right there. But for Act 1, this is kind of like his base skins he's releasing with. He has like 2 different color changes on his base skin as per usual. So you got like the green kind of slimy look, and then you have the more like the red look right here. This is the Prestige skin for Act 1. It looks actually really sick, especially when you go in the back right here, you see some of the flame coming from the skull right there. With a very well done Prestige skin to be expected from his studios. And then the one skin that he's being released with is an uncommon skin that makes him turn more like a golden brass color, much like kind of the steel skin that we have currently in the game. As for the actual augments, I always show up Death from Above. That's like the main one that you guys should be using. It just gives his like a lot more utility, being able to like go back to back, jump on the wall, so be able to jump on the wall, root someone, then follow up with an immediate knock up in the area around that person. Because the other ones can be interesting, like this one, Hunger, which instead of you decaying stacks of hunger, you actually regenerate it slowly over time, but ability hits will not increase it, which makes this a bit awkward to use because it kind of makes it almost like an RNG proc where you're trying to do a Faintooth fight and you really want to get awakened status to like get the additional benefits of your abilities, but since you don't get it from doing damage, you really just have to play around the timing of when you actually eventually reach 100 stacks. And what you do is, it's a really long duration, it's twice as long, but having no control agency on it makes it like kind of hard to play around it, because you don't want to play around, you don't want to force a fight just because you only have a window to use your passive. That just can lead to kind of empty plays, kind of like bad habits, instead of looking for that like opening you see in those team fights. So I don't really recommend this, but especially since it is pretty easy to get max stacks anyways if you play around the queue. So maybe if you're getting used to the hero and you want one less thing to worry about, you can play around with this. If not, I recommend that you skip that augment. The other one is a little bit more interesting case where instead of pulling people in, you now push them back and do increased tick damage. I don't see a big use on Akeron at the moment, but I've been playing this guy a lot from the consecrated build, and he does get counter a lot if the enemy team draft heroes that can like stop his ultimate. So maybe eventually we get to the part of the meta where people will use this more because they know they're gonna get CC a lot. So instead of like pulling in the buy, you can use it to push people against walls, keep them locked on the wall, because that way there's a lot less likelihood you get CC, because a lot of the CC is kind of like more melee range, right? But if you can just push them away from you, it makes it easier to avoid a lot of that CC, like especially from like Victor, for example. So I'll keep an eye on this, but for now you guys should really be trying to play him as he was originally intended for, which is like the pull-in aspect. So that's why I'm really hampering on try Death from Above, just so you can be able to play his kit as originally intended. But that's kind of like the his augments. I'm gonna just show a quick with the numbers too, because some of them is actually pretty interesting once you get to see a little bit more detail. Like for example, the reason why his Q is like really strong is because you can see it just from 15 base damage to 95 base damage. So in my later videos this week, you're gonna be able to see like I'm gonna go a full tank build with him in the jungle. And the reason why he's doing so much damage is well because most of his damage actually comes from the base number, not so much from the scaling part right here. And nothing much to say about these other parts. It's just the Q I wanted to touch on, like why it's actually a really strong ability even on full tank builds. And I'll just quickly just kind of like you guys can pause and kind of read up on the numbers a little bit more if you want to. But one last thing, I'll show off like the cool new skins this patch, and the ones that are gonna get new skins are Wukong, Twinblast, Shinbi, and Sedwag. The new Wukong skin is not available yet in this like build that we are given, but it's definitely coming. And the best way I can show you guys what it kind of looks like is from the in-game banner from the battle pass. You see right here. I know it's like not the best representation of the skin, but it's kind of like to give you a general idea of what this kind of like skin is. It makes him more look like a make him look like more like Black Myth Wukong from that game. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. And so I think the actual art for that at least is cool. Twin Blast, he's the one that you probably always seen from a like a live stream a while ago that season. Well, he got some model changes where instead of being some skinny, edgy kind of guy, now he's rocking the abs right there. As you can see, I know some people I'm not the biggest fan of the skin, but I do appreciate them putting a little bit more effort into changing up the model for Twin Blast. I would actually really like some of its other skin color changes where like the more red and golden color looks really nice. The green is kind of like it's kind of like what it is. I think it's my favorite one right here for him. Then you have Shinbi. Shinbi's the one that's really nice actually. Let's see it pull up. It's the best good enough, right? Because obviously you can see some of the assets got buff, right? It got really buff, right? And I've been told that they did change the model on Shinbi a bit within the some people have been asking, like you see right here there's an obvious buff that happened on this new skin right here, which I mean they did that away with the Countess Guna skin, right? So not too surprising that they're doing with Shinbi right here, but at least she's not rocking the diaper skin, right? She's not having this weird like diaper lower half. Now it's like a full like different kind of skin, so makes Shinbi a lot more nicer, I guess you can say, for the Shinbi enjoyers out there. The black and red is cool, and you of course you have the pink, which I actually like this a bit more because it's more of a Shinbi color palette right there. And then lastly we have Sedwag. Unfortunately, it looks like for him he only had the common one out of the battle pass, so with the Sedwag enjoyers, why? Because the best skin you guys got is a rare, and that's a while ago, so that has yet to be an epic kind of skin for you guys. So a little bit missed opportunity, but it is what it is, as I do say. But that's gonna be it from me on this segment. Apologies if the segment is a bit longer, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to touch bases on Akeron's kit, showing off some of the cool new battle skin skins for you guys. And of course I have time steps, so if you really didn't want to sit through all of this, you can easily just skip ahead to the actual gameplay. But I just want to make sure this first video coming out to you guys is kind of very comprehensive on being able to show off like Akeron explaining his kit, his builds, and then also just some of the other goodies in this patch. But enough from me. The next segment is of course going to be the actual gameplay of playing with him in Offlane, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Apologies for that, guys. I actually have one last thing to add before we jump into the gameplay. There are actually more skins packed in this update that I only found out just right now. So besides the battle skin passes, we actually got new opal skin variants for some of the more popular skins on some of these heroes. Like for Quan, for example, he actually has Arctic, an Arctic version where instead of like a red and black, it's a blue and white color palette, which is very nice. The VVX is still red, which I think is kind of off-putting on him. I think this skin would be 100% top tier if the red color VVX on his lightning was like the blue to kind of match like the blue kind of palette going on right here. But alas, it is what it is. So you got that for Quan, and then you had one for Waves, which it's the same thing for, it's all the rogue skins, I believe. So for like for Waste, now you have this kind of like purple white variant, which is pretty cool. I like it how the Predecessor logo is a bit more like stand out on this kit, because this dark brown and black doesn't mix well. It's really hard to see, but this one is much more clear right there. So pretty cool stuff right there.
I love this team.
And then there's Sparrow, her work skin. It's gonna be this like again like this kind of like white palette. So all of them are kind of like the lighter color palettes for like the Arctic kind of theme. Again, it's like you see this like all these blue lines, but then her VVX is still red, so it's still off-putting to me. But these are just skin veins, is what it is. But again, I really appreciate like the nice lighter color palettes. And oh, it actually changed her hair color too. A little bit like more of a kind of blonde-ish look. That's actually pretty nice. Feet touch right there. And then lastly, there's one for Kalari. I can find her.
Tell me what you see.
Well, she's actually gonna be walking the white and some purple, kind of like the waist. It does look kind of similar-ish. Like this is like a white and dark cape, and this is like a white purple white cape. So pretty interesting stuff right there. But yeah, I just want to show that off because I think this is like the biggest patch. This is like the most amount of opal skins we got in one single patch. I think it's usually only one usually. So we're getting all 4 at once. It's pretty rad on, I guess you can say. So I hope you guys have been saving up your opals, because if you want one or multiple of these skins, you're gonna have to kind of gamble a little bit to get this opal currency, I guess you can say. But alright, that's actually enough for me. Let's jump straight into the gameplay and hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, what's going on everyone? This is JoeYoursTruly back with a special video. Today we're gonna be doing a special hero showcase of Amanda's newest hero, and that is Akeron. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I think I got it pretty close enough. So I'm pretty sure I did like an intro part where I kind of dive into his kit right here. So if you guys want kind of like an in-depth explanation of his kit and what kind of like combos and builds you can do, I highly recommend you guys rewatch that clip. But we're gonna focus more on the gameplay aspect of today. We're gonna get Akeron, so it'll be a mirror matchup, but you get to see kind of both of us go after each other and see kind of like how we both play this hero differently. And oh, this is new, because it didn't used to be like this where you can actually see a beach and tower over there, and that's also new, because I've been told that in this build there's some crazy stuff that happens, but they haven't told me what it is. But there's some crazy stuff that happened in this build, and yeah, the map changes is kind of cool. I don't think that's the crazy part they're talking about, but we shall see here in a sec. Alright, here's his Q right there, so now we can kind of use that Q as right there, because the thing about like Akeron is like for him, you kind of want to play around his Q a lot in Offlane. It's kind of like your main damage ability. That's also how you get your stacks the fastest on him. So you want to play around that, right? And that's why you kind of go for a more AP build on him, because the way to maximize your damage on your Q, you want to like make his Q like do damage, right? So you see right there, I got 4 stacks. That's why I'm going for this augment death from above, because although the other augment that makes you passively gain the stacks is cool and all, it's hard to control when you want to actually activate. Plus you can see like, oh, he's jumping on me. But you see how fast we can stack up our ability anyways. I think we kill him right here. Yeah, we do. Nice. Because I think he used his Q earlier and I dodged most of it, so that's kind of like how I just kind of pressed the go button on that and we were able to kill him right there. Plus, I think he was solidifying my mini wave more than I was in his, and mini wave definitely do a lot of damage early on, as you guys still see. So I'm not really healthy enough to do 2 buffs, so I'll take a quick reset right here and we can kind of be on our merry way. I think for the most part, you want to go Tainted Scepter first, because you said you're gonna build Akeron Offlane the same way you build Quan Offlane. Just build like Tainted Scepter, Oathkeeper, build like magical damage with haste and health is what you want to do on Akeron. I think the only main difference though is you may want to build Truesilver Bracelet, because you can counter his ultimate by CCing him while casting it. And since his ultimate plays like a really big role, especially on this mage build where I'm trying to maximize damage, being able to whip your ultimate and not worry about getting CC is like very good. Now their team, they didn't really have a lot of CC. They don't really only have the Powers of Boot to worry about, so I could probably not go Truesilver Bracelet this game, but just know that if you're against like a Work, for example, and I can't definitely step up when I shouldn't right there, but if you're against like a Grux that has all the CC and he can like interrupt you easily with his like E, for example, that's when you want to go your Truesilver Bracelet. Or if there's like a Decker on the enemy team, right? Go Truesilver Bracelet, so I know way about getting CC while being altered. But yeah, we're putting levels into our queue first. I would have thought like B would be your primary ability to use. But people would say that like Akeron's is best play maxing Q going AP because you don't really get a whole ton of damage on your B. Like you really want to play around your Q a lot in lane. So it's just best to max Q and use that as your opener to go in, do damage, all that good stuff. And you can kind of combo into it pretty nicely. Like you see how a couple of times, well, I can shoot my Q out like that. But that doesn't do much. It won't do the damage I'm looking for. You want to actually have it stick to the ground, get them stuck in that Q, and you can make them stay stuck by using your E right here. So like for example, I'll do that. He's stuck in my Q right there for a little bit. And that's how you want to play around it. And he's actually getting pretty low, so I could kill him here in a sec. Nice. So we didn't get the execute because his ultimate has an execute, but I think he actually E out that right before it actually fully proc right there. Because it executes on the so yeah, so it scales on both the execution scale based on your magical physical. So it seems like we didn't hit him when he was like below 10% right there. But yeah, I think Akeron Offlane has a little bit slow start, but once you get level 6, once you put some levels into his Q, he starts to really output a lot of damage pretty fast, especially with this build that I'm showcasing to you guys right here. So nice, we're not too far from Tainted Scepter. That'd be great to pick that up pretty soon. Against this team, I'll probably just go Oathkeeper or Magnify. I pretty much want to just build like Tainted Scepter, these two, into like Worldbreaker. It's kind of like a generic build we can go and try out. I think Dreambinder might actually be pretty good right here too. It doesn't have ability haste, it's the only issue, but Akeron's kit does give you ability haste, so probably we can actually get away with running a little bit less ability haste just because I have to provide that haste. So you see what we kind of lock him down with the E, and that way he gets stuck in our Q more, as you guys saw. So you definitely want to build some mana in this build. I'm kind of doing Divine Potion Alchemist to make up for my lack of mana, right? But for right now, it's not too bad. Oh damn, missed it. I want to try to bait him into coming my tower, because I'm pretty sure when I'm pulling people in with my ultimate, if they take aggro and I ult them, they can stay stuck in my tower and I'm just ulting them while they're taking tower shots. Like kind of like a Wicked Fool in the sense when you see him offlane. So I'm trying to see if I can get him to like walk up a bit, take the bait, but I've been kind of like, I'm 2-0 against him, so he might be too scared to walk up too close to my tower line, which is fair. So I might have to just forego that for now. Oh, alright. So he saw that we were trying to get him stuck in the E, and that's why he dipped out immediately. So you guys kind of saw that a little bit. I'm noticing there's an X on the map. I wonder if that's like a new buff, because that's definitely new. Because yeah, see how Sales is fighting something? Oh, wait, what is this? Who is this fatty right here? What? Who is that fatty? Okay. Yeah, this is different, because you have a bigger pit right here, and Wave buff is right here now too. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing some of the most spicy stuff they're talking about. Oh. Alright, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Surely he's gonna take the bait, boy. He's still not walking up at all. He's just too skilled the last hit. Even though I'm half HP. Okay. A little unfortunate. I really want to see if I can abuse that interaction on the tower, but he's just too scared to walk up the last hit still. Oh my god, that wave is disgusting, I will say. So let's go ahead and take 2 buff. We're seeing our Tainted Scepter so we can get that bad boy online. He's also going AP too, so something like Golem's Gift won't really help out a whole lot, because I mean, even against Akeron that's going physical, the only damage you really doing defense against is his B. Everything else he does is just damage. Magical damage, I mean. See if we can do a little bit Spider-Man action gain to lane. Because you can, with this Augment, you can do multiple ones. Yeah, I see that. That's kind of cool. Takes a little bit of time getting used to because you gotta know, how far your Q goes. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty cool. I thought about whipping my ultimate right there, but I kind of want to combo into my E to make him stuck longer in my ultimate. Oh wow, he could probably jump out of it. Is the issue too. Alright. Nice. Yeah, it kind of seems like, I guess most matchups, not just this one, but once you know that mobility is gone, you can just whip your ultimate and start doing a lot of damage they just can't avoid. So the only way they can get out of it at that point is if they have a CC, and Akeron doesn't really have a hard CC to really interrupt the ultimate casting. So I'm gonna bring him Grux again, for example. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, but he has a lot of ways to interrupt my ultimate. So until I know for sure he can't interrupt my ultimate right away, I need to hold on to it, which is kind of awkward, and it makes for an interesting counter matchup, which is nice because it feels like the last few heroes of Reyna and Yoi, they don't really have clear weaknesses or counter plays to them. But Akeron does. He's fat. He's easy to hit, right? He's easy to interrupt too. So you just play around CC and his ultimate, and then you can be kind of chilling for a bit. So let's see. I kind of want to see if we can maybe get the Howitzer. So let's see if we can kind of Spider-Man our way in. Oh, we did the root into the knockup. That was a cool combo. I'm gonna grief to see if I can get him. Oh, wait, I could probably get him. I could probably get him with my ultimate. Come here! Okay, that's kind of cool. Cause yeah, his cone is so. Oh no, I'm cooked right here. I'm definitely cooked. I can't get out of this. There's no way, right? Wait, I have the peak advantage. Oh no, he sees me because of the minion. No, no. Dang it. I was stuck between the rock and the hard place right there, you guys, so. But no, that's cool. His cone is massive. Because I noticed too, when the other Akeron blink away, my ultimate is still in range, so his ultimate is so scary because it's one of the few abilities where you just can't really blink away from because of just how massive the AoE pull is. So that's actually pretty dang interesting to see. So it's kind of like a sales key where when it's being cast, you can't just run away or blink away because it can follow you. Well, instead of me following them, I just suck them back in my ultimate, so that's actually really nice. So long as I'm on top of them and they blink away, your ultimate will pull them back in. So it can be a great way to bait out people panicking with the blinks, and then you just gain so much from that. Nice. See how we just with him right there, so he couldn't leave, couldn't blink, couldn't do any of that, and then we just chomped him and got the kill right there. So very nice. Alright, tower planes are down. I kind of want to play more aggressively and try to knock down this tower now. So that way I could just roam a bit. I might actually go right. I want to attack right. I want to do chomp some, you know, some dual laners right here. No. Come here! Come here! Dude, I just sucked him so hard. Oh wait, that sounds really bad on contact. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that his ultimate is kind of toxic because they couldn't CC me out of it. Uh-oh. I didn't exactly wipe it around as good as I'd like. No. Let me trump you. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, his on B heals a good amount if he can kill people because his on B heals based on if the minions die or not, or the enemy died. But you can still heal if you hit someone with it, right? So you can kind of play around that to kind of stay alive in a lot of moments. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go Oathkeeper right here. I'm thinking we can probably do Dreambinder first, actually, then Worldbreaker. But the interesting thing about that, though, is I'm doing damage with my ultimate and pulling people in, but with Dreambinder, they're being slow. So does that mean that they're being sucked in slower by JoeYoursTruly? I don't know. But we gotta test it out and see how the interaction plays out. And let's go kill this fatty right here again. What's it called? I think it was Seedling is the name when we were attacking it earlier. Oh, wait! Oh, we got a big fatty right here. What the heck is this, dude? Holy. That's terrifying, actually. I don't want to throw hands with him by myself. I'm pretty fat, but that guy's fatter than me. Come here. Come back! Jump. Oh, wait. He's trying to get away. Come back. Oh, no. I'm getting into... Dang, I have really nice 1v1, but maybe you'll have to just go in and, like, kill me right there. Unfortunate. Just trying to kill him because he has mini prime is kind of like the play right there. So you know Voidhelm might actually be a good item for us this game. Get the magical armors against like the house of Akeron, and an increased healing too can be kind of nice to combo with us. So, okay. Well, I guess we gotta be a little bit more careful with the 1v1s we take because of Mir just baiting out and making it so that we can't kill people and we get executed, so gotta keep that in mind. But he had blink, and that's the main reason why we couldn't kill him right away, because he blinked out and it took us a while to follow him. But we have blink now. On my way mid, if you want to go in on this. They're a bit too far away. I really want to see what happens when we take that buff, because I'm not sure what it does, like give us buffs or something. Oh, Faintest. I forgot about Faintest because I was too busy being distracted by this fatty right here. I want ult this because I think I should save it for the next big fight. And we might... I feel like we can whip this, no? Again, I don't know what this buff does, but it's gonna do something that should be good because it's pretty fat. 13k health or 12k health. We need Sarah though. She's on the... Oh, we need Sarah to you. My lesbian face, please, come here. My lesbian face, we need you. Alright, there we go. New pathways have opened up. Huh? What is going on? What is this? Well, there's music though. Wait. Wait, what is going on? Why is there a giant walk in the middle of my lane now? What? Wait. What the heck? What's this? What's this? What? Okay. I think we found out what exactly is being cooked right here, ladies and gents. Who is this fatty? What? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I need to explore the map right now, because it definitely changed. Because there's some gold plants right here. Wait. Okay. So it seems like the big feature that's being teased by me and for this patch is like it straight up changes the map. There's some like world events where the map changes. Kind of like if you guys play like League. There was a thing in League where depending on the dragon you take, it changes the map differently. Like one dragon would make more like bushes and like shadow paths. One dragon would make a lot more of the jungle way more open. And it seems like this is what it does. Like you kill the big fatty, and then it just really opens up the map over here. I should really be helping my team over there, but as a content creator, I kind of have to do my due diligence and kind of investigate what was going on right there. Because holy, this is massive. Like outside of this new hero, having this like map change from taking the buff is crazy. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, dude. I don't think Fainted is up, right? I feel like I'm trolling if it is. But yeah, it's kind of my bad. I just got so distracted by this event that like I kind of ignored what's going on the map for like 3 minutes. But that is so cool. What the heck? Well, at least I get like all these towers. Alright, let's actually take a reset right here. Oh, this is new. Yeah, so there's a lot of changes in this map. So it seems like the jungle gets smaller, but there's more open paths. It's an interesting thing. Okay. Yeah, they're cooking pretty hard right here. Alright, let's go. You know, Truesilver Bracelet might be fun, just so we have a shield, but let's just do it. I kind of want to see how this build does in most games, and I feel like most games you are gonna want to choose a bracelet on him. So I'm just see how it just feels wanting this item, and just kind of go from there. And I'm gonna see if we can kill the Skylar.
An allied tower is under attack.
If I can find her, that is. Huh? I'm not sure what she went. Oh, she went. That's my bad. I should take down the wave, so we kind of lose the tower for no reason, but I was trying to greed for the Skylar kill just to show off this hero a bit. Wait. Alright, they're taking the TP, so they're probably gonna follow her. Oh, I got stuck right there. I can probably try to go for a solo. Maybe go for a howitzer right here if he walks up. Oh, what the heck? Oh, there's 3 people there. I should not be taking 1v1s. We can try to kill the Greystone, maybe. Oh, wait. Shouldn't be... Come here! Oh, damn. They blink out. Oh no, I'm getting sucked in, dude. That's unfortunate. So like, hopefully get out of that, but I think it's also like the million ult is what's safer too. So yeah, the million is kind of the bane of me this game. It's like I'm trying to like execute people, but either they blink away and stall it out, or they just get ulted by Mirio, so... I kind of want to just like focus on Mirio then at this point. Because then like, getting that pick on Mirio would be pretty easy, and it makes so that Miru can't ult people and shield people, all that annoying stuff. She might ult out my ult, but at least I won't get like 1v2 out of nowhere, if that makes sense. So I think building, you know what? Let's build Salvation. Because you know this hero scales on magical and physical. So even though it's better to build mostly magical to maximize the damage of my Q, and I think ultimate, you can still build some physical. In this case, building some tenacity and just wall HP and getting that shield when I fall below certain HP can be really nice, so I can kind of tank much easier. Because I'm kind of dying pretty quickly if I just don't kill people in my combo or I get multiple people forcing me down. It's too bad that I wasn't alive to get the final buff, because otherwise I think I could be doing so much more damage with my ultimate and getting those juicy executions. Ow. I need to kind of heal up again. Yeah, we kind of want to play around this. Wait. Wait, what? Wait, did the hole right there? That's why. What the heck? Oh my god. Oh my god, I have no idea what's going on. Oh no, I'm too fat. Don't block me in, please. I'm trying to wait for my E to go back in. I'm pretty low. Nice. Okay, we kind of cleaned up right there. So we're not getting like juicy executions, but like we are against like Greystone and Mario, so they make it really hard to get those executions as I was hoping. Oh. Oh wow, that was a decent amount of damage. Especially since your Q technically does more damage if you have more of your passive stacked up. Stop! No! Surely he dies, right? Dang. Yeah, how is it just kind of outranges me? Because I don't think my E doesn't hit him unless I'm much closer to him. Oh no, my team's getting stuck in! Oh no, with my jungler. They're gonna go for Orb, but we took down 2 of the inhibitors, so it's gonna be still hard for them to come back, but we definitely can team wipe the next one. Oh, and it seems like it seems like that big buff that we took to change the map is still there, but I'm not sure what buff it gets outside of that. Like, does it just give you more resources, maybe? If we can get Skylar, that'd be really cool. Oh, she jumps over. They're on Orb. I don't have my team here, so it's kind of tricky. I'm trying to see if I can bait them out a little bit. Nice, we got the execution right there. Trying to see if we can get the Skylar. She's just outside range. I'm getting low, so I'm trying to space it down a little bit. Nice. Okay. We're getting a little bit hang of this hero right here, ladies and gents. That fight would actually run a lot kind of smoother if we had Salvation, because I think I can kind of just keep walking forward with the shield. I would have gotten from Salvation. I'm gonna just reset because I do want to actually get Salvation. And last item, I'm not sure what will be the last item in this build. This is kind of my first time cooking up a more magical based build, and since you have the additional layer of this being like you can do a hybrid build, it makes it kind of really interesting to do different combinations of what you can do on this hero.
Under attack.
So, but I imagine you kind of just go health, right? Is kind of like what I'm thinking. I'm kind of curious, like, how easy it is to solo this guy? Because my team is about to end the game. But, okay, so that buff right there, I'm not sure what it does after you get the world event right there. But it does seem like it's not too bad trying to solo it. It's not as scary as the Primer buff or Prime, but you still gotta have enough damage or sustain to be able to take that down. But that was actually a pretty good, clean showcase of the newest hero and the really crazy map changes that's going to be coming into play right here. Because yeah, just seeing like meteors and that music change kind of come crashing down and the map just being changed, that is pretty dang cool. I must hand it to them. They definitely cook pretty hard with this new update. Because I always felt like the gameplay side of meta has always been the strongest suit. Some stuff lately, like some questionable like balance changes or like hero kit designs being kind of problematic, stuff that I kind of feel like they've fallen short on. But outside of that, they still have it. They still have it in them to do some really wild, crazy stuff. Like we have this like new map changes like happens with the events. We have the augments, we have the heal rework. So I would say like it's really cool to see Amanda's like gameplay team kind of just always like stepping up and delivering up some really juicy stuff from patch to patch, because it kind of feels like it just keeps getting better, which is really awesome. Because like you can only like do so much, right? I always felt like the augment system was pretty wild, and I'm like, how are they gonna top this? And lo and behold, like they did top it with this world event, in my opinion. So that's gonna be really awesome to really dive into it and kind of play with that, because I think that's kind of the new gameplay element that we really need right now, to really freshen things up on like the gameplay aspect. So that's really awesome to see. But one other thing that I will make mention before I forget is I believe that this newest hero we showcased to you guys is actually made by Lumi Wormy. She's the one. She's like the newest senior game dev that joined Omeda's team from Smite. That's why I've been told that this is her first hero since joining the team, and I think she cooked really good. Like hero design alone, awesome. But I also really like this hero a whole ton, because I do feel like he's like the first actual well-made hero we had in a long time. Because I kind of felt like, again, my biggest issues with some stuff recently is like Yuri and Reina, they're both fun to play, but they're both problematic heroes. Oh wow, they're very frustrating heroes to play against, and there's no like clear way to counter them, because like Reina can just do so much damage just pressing ultimate, staying next to you. She can stasis, you can't hit her and the ultimate's still hitting you. She can go up in the air while ulting, you can't hit her, and then her E, she's stalling out. She does a lot of stuff that's so toxic and really hard to counter. And then Yuri, of course, with the same thing where she also in the air and she can like group you up, do a lot of damage. It's really hard to counter that, or the fact that she can just dash like 5 times in the span of like 3 seconds. It's pretty crazy. But for this hero, I feel like he's actually a lot more balanced, in the sense that on the receiving end, it doesn't feel as frustrating to play against him, because it's a clear way to counter him, and that is just CC. You didn't really see it this game, because this enemy team we face off didn't really have any hard CC, but I guarantee you that like a Victor, for example, on my team was giving that Akeron the hard time, because it's so easy to hook a big fatty and just interrupt his ultimate casting, where I feel like Akeron is really impressive with his ultimate, but it's also at the same time easy to shut down. So you have all of that, and this hero is just so fun to play. I mean, we just showcased the magical base build. There's still a physical base build we can do in the jungle that could be really cool, or there could be a full tank build we can do. It's just so interesting what items we can cook on this guy, because he can both scale on magical and physical. So I think they just nailed this hero, both in terms of this hero being fun to play, but also being balanced and not as frustrating to go against. But that's enough rambling from me. Hope you guys enjoy today's video showcase. If you have not already, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss a single beat by yours truly. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day here. Peace.